Welcome to the module number 21 of the digital marketing course. In the previous module, we talked about the introduction to content marketing, about why it is one of the most cheapest methods out there among the others and how it can be beneficial for you or your brand. It positions you as an authority, right? And it builds confidence in your target audience. And we also talked about a number of other things related to content marketing, but this video is all about different types of content that you can create. Okay, so let's get started. Well, there are primarily 4 different types of content that you can create. The first one is the written content, then it is the visual content, then it is the video content, and then it is the audio content. Actually, these are all the communication modes that human beings use to talk to each other, to convey information, to make people understand what they have to say, right? So either somebody has written it and we read it in books, we read it in magazines, right? We read it in newspapers, right? Reading is a crucial part of our daily lives, right? We read almost everywhere. Content is actually everywhere, right? Just imagine, you have been going through your school and your colleges, and you have been reading books and you have been writing answers in your exams, right? So that's a mode of communication. Somebody has given you the information, you are consuming it, and then you are actually practicing upon it and testing yourself that whether you know about that topic or not. Similarly, in life, when you have a problem and when you seek a solution for it, you might go online, on Google, and search for some content to get your problem solved, right? And obviously, written content is going to be there in one form or the other. All right. So we are going to talk about that in detail, but let's move ahead to the visual content. Now, visual content includes something that you can see, right? Visual content, everything, you can see everything, but in visual content, there are some images, there are some graphics, there are some infographics. Okay, and then it comes the video content, right? Just like this one, you are watching me on video, consuming information, learning about digital marketing. And then there is audio content. Just imagine if my audio in this video is lost, would you be able to understand what all am I saying just by seeing my expressions? No, right? So that is why the 4 communication mediums that human beings can use actually are the source of different types of content that you can create. And all the social media platforms out there that are coming in, new platforms are coming in daily. All of them include these 4 types of communication mediums and 4 types of content creation abilities that they provide you in some way or the other. Okay, so let's talk about them in detail now. Written content. Well, written content is one of the most oldest modes of communication, right? So it has been there when the internet wasn't even there, centuries back, when scriptures were there, when people used to send letters to each other, right? Some few decades back. So it is one of the most oldest modes of communication. And the next important part that you might be thinking that why do we need written content when we can actually see videos, when we can actually listen to audio, right? And when we can see pictures and get the data that we need. Well, written content is something that can be seen by search engines, and search engines are the source of traffic, a free traffic that can come to your website, and you can generate money out of those people by turning them into your leads, right? So it is only this mode of content that can be seen by search engines, and it is only this mode of content which is one of the oldest modes of communication, and people are very comfortable consuming information in this mode of content. You might be thinking that reading is actually quite boring. Some of you might not be interested in reading, but believe me when I say this, that you read almost every time. Okay, if you're looking at your phones, chatting, you are reading the content. Okay, so similarly, when somebody has a need for a solution, which he is finding on Google or any other search engine, definitely that person is going to be invested in reading that, and because he has to solve his problem. There is a pressing problem that he has to solve. Right? There can be a separate about page, there can be a terms of conditions page. Well, everything is going to include written content in some form or the other. So one form of content that you can create is the website content. Okay, the written content. And then the next, which we talked about, which the content marketing is revolving around, is blogs. The ability to create dynamically, the blogs should be updated dynamically, right? So what can you do with the blog actually? What can you write? What are the different types of blog posts that you can write? So since this is a video on different types of content, let's just move ahead and understand that how many types of blogs can you create. So you can either create news posts, You can create how-to posts, like how to do this in this much time, right? Like how to lose weight in 30 days without going to the gym. Then there are the list posts, like top 7 fat cutting methods revealed. Okay, then there are these review posts, right? You can create review posts for some of the products that you use, or for some of the books that you read, right? Anything. Review can be about anything. You might be creating a review about the Biz Gurukul digital marketing course as well. Okay, so then the next thing is the resources posts. You can create a list of resources and link to them. There can be affiliate links within them, so obviously that you can do in your blog. Then there are these interview posts, like you have taken an interview, like an audio interview, a video interview, and then you can transcribe it into a written format for people to consume and for search engines to see. Okay, so those can be created. Then you can create case study posts, like you have did an experiment and then you are going to share the experience with the world, with your target audience, like what did you try to do and what were the results at the end. Okay, and these can be success stories, these can be failure stories, these can be learning stories. So this is something that you can create out of your own experience. And then there are these guest posts as well, so you can post on other people's websites to gain traction. You can actually present yourself to the other target audience, which is generated by your competitor maybe, or your friend maybe, right? So guest posts are there to stay for long, just like all these posts. And then there can be some other kind of content you can come up with creatively, but these are the most high performing ones. So now you know that what are you going to do with your blog, what are you going to create actually. So these are something that you can start with, and then you can actually modify what all you want to write on your blog. Okay, what all do you want to share with your target audience. All right, so moving ahead, you can create text-based resources as well. Like you can create ebooks, you can create checklists, you can create cheat sheets. Everything will contain written content in one form or the other. Okay, so this was all about the written content. This is what you can create. Moving ahead, we have the visual content. Now, what comes in visual content? I've already discussed it. Images. Then you can create graphics. Now, what kind of graphics? You can create charts, bar charts, or any kind of a representation of data that can come into graphics. And then there is this new form of visual content that has surfaced over the past few years, which is called infographics. And infographics are long form visual representation of data. They're like pretty long photographs where there is a visual flow that you can actually read. You can actually understand the story behind the numbers, and there are a lot of platforms out there that can help you create infographics. Okay, so these come under the visual content. Moving ahead, we have the video content now. In video content, you can create pre-recorded videos, just like you are watching this one. Okay, then you can have social media lives. So you might be going live on your social media platforms, right? And then you can actually download those videos as well, and you can then repurpose those videos and use them on all of the platforms. You can embed it on your website, you can post it on your YouTube. So everything is actually video content. And the third one is the webinars. Okay, webinars is going live on calls and talking to people, maybe thousands of people, or maybe there is a small group that you have, right? In today's world, webinars have become very common to interact. Okay, so this is again video content which you can record and then repurpose it. You can create snippets of those videos and help people consume bite-sized information by providing answers to certain questions that you have talked about in your webinar discussion. All right, so that comes into video content. Well, and this is also one of the most complex forms of creation, because it becomes very difficult at times to face the camera and to invest in all the proper lighting and all the setup. Okay, and you never know how much you are good at speaking online. So this is something which you need to seek. Actually, you need to not fear video content. You need to go towards it, but slowly and steadily. All right, then comes the audio content. So in audio contents, podcasts, you must have heard about podcasts where people are recording themselves while talking, and there are some platforms like anchor.fm where you can post those podcasts for free, and then you can share it with the world to listen what you have to say. Maybe this video that I'm creating, I can just separate the audio file of this video and post it as a podcast. Okay, so that's audio content for you. This is also something that you can create. So all of this content you might have consumed actually, but now it's time for you to create these kinds of content, but not all at once, because all these content types actually take some time to create, time to think about. You need to research, and what all should you consider actually, like which type of content to choose. So let's figure out which type of content should you choose for your brand, for your audience actually. So the first thing is think about your audience and decide, like if you are into a fashion industry, then obviously visual content is going to help you. If you are, in some technical industry where the audience is interested more in reading, then obviously you can go for the written content. Okay, and then you can try the different combinations of video and written, then video and graphics, anything that you think is good for your audience. That totally depends on your market. Other than that, you have to also consider the budget. Okay, like how much money can you spend on the content creation efforts? Like you may not be very good at creating content yourself, but you are trying to outsource it to some other guy, and obviously he's going to charge some money, right? So how much money can you spend? And you need to take care of the quality of the content, because in today's world, I showed you in the last video that number of blogs are getting created every second, as we are recording this video. So obviously quantity is not a problem in today's world, but quality is, and you should actually look for more quality. You should actually create more quality content to help your target audience. Okay, and that will obviously cost you some money if you are not doing it yourself, or maybe if you consider your time, your time in comparison to money. Like time is money, so how much time are you spending on creating content? How much you would have actually earned if you would not have created, spend time in creating that content. So that's also actually a financial investment in one form of way. Okay, nothing in this world is free. Either you are spending time or you are spending money. So you need to actually take care about budget as well as time. And then if you have team or not, like I just told you that if you're not creating it yourself, then how good is your team? Like how much are you going to pay them? Like how many number of hours are they giving you on a daily basis? Okay, so you need to work based on that as well. And obviously the complexity, I just told you that creating visual and video content is actually very complex. Okay, because you need to present it in such a manner that it looks attractive and people are actually engaging with it. So you need to choose which type of content to create based on all of these factors. Now, with this discussion, you might have already guessed that what is the best way to start. Well, the best way to start is written content, no doubt. Okay, because you can spend maybe 5 days to write some content. You can decide that, okay, I will post one blog post a week. Okay, and that would be a 2,000 or a 3,000 word blog post. All right, so you can spend that much amount of time, then you can create that post and publish it on your website, and then you can spend the next 2, 3, 4 or number of days to promote that content to the world. Well, that's topic of a next video, of the coming videos. So with this video, I have already told you like what different types of content can you create. Okay, and what is the best way to start, and how can you choose which content to talk about. Type is the audience research, the niche research. Okay, in the coming videos, we're going to cover all these topics, as they are connected with each other. So stay tuned. Bye.